everyone, welcome to Bee's Cocina. Today I am doing my hair. It's that time again to dye my hair. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cut it today, but I might cut it a little bit. I'm not sure yet. I'll see how this go. And this is how long my hair is. And I cut my own hair last time. I did layers on the front, and the only thing I have to cut a little bit in the back. But now what it's due is my gray hairs need to be dyed. As you can see, they're a little bit too out of control and they need to be dyed. So I'm gonna show you guys what my process is to get my hair dyed and get in the process of doing everything that needs to be done. First, I get a container like this for my, and then I just rinse it off. It's a little bit dirty right now. So I'm gonna dry it. And then this container, it could be either this one or my favorite one is this one. I got it at Sally's, and the thing that I like the most is that it has this little brush here that when you're applying your dye, you can clean up the brush with it. And I think it's amazing how you're able to do that. This one I got it in Sally. It's called Color Track, and I don't even remember how much it cost me, but it didn't cost me too much, maybe $3 or $4. I'll probably maybe try to find the link for you guys, but I had it for almost, I want to say 6 months already, and now with the coronavirus, you know, you're getting your own hair done, so I've been doing my hair ever since, and I haven't gone back. As you can see, my hair are very gray right now. It's sometimes a little hard to do the back for me, but I'm gonna try to do the best I can. The color that I use is the Salerm one, permanent color, and the color that I use is called brown number 4. See if you can see it better. Brown number 4, and this one is pretty decent color, and this is the color I normally put on, and it turns out pretty good. But what I do, I don't use too much. I mean, I buy a big one, and I can pretty much do it like maybe 2 or 3 times before I have to buy a new one. So I use at least maybe an inch of it, and then I put the rest, the developer that I use, which is also from Sally, and it's Color Brilliance. It's called Color Brilliance. And definitely what I do is I actually buy the big bottle, and then I just mark it down. It will last you a year, so I just put the day that I open it. I open it in February, so I have until February 1st of next year to get rid of it. If I don't get rid of it, then it's not good for my hair anymore. So after a year it expires, so you're not supposed to do that after a year. So let's see what I need to do. Put put clothes that you normally don't love too much, that you want to get rid of it, or that you probably are gonna be testing. As a Dominican, what happened here? Oh, what's that thing? Okay. As a Dominican, sometimes what we do is we use our plastic bag that we use for the trash, and we create our own little handy, almost like a shirt. So what I do is I just cut out the top a little bit like this. I used to like this, cut it like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, and then in the side, in the corners, you go at the angle, like circle, like this. And you go like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, and you cut it. And then you do the same thing on the other side. And then you stop just as in the corner there. As you can see, this is how the bag normally look. And I'm gonna show you how we put it on, because I'm gonna use this as a shirt, and this is gonna protect my clothes from getting stained or anything during the process. But I have to say, I have become it has become a little bit easier for me to do the things. So I do realize that sometimes it takes a little less time for me to do it. So than normally. So this is how it's gonna go. Let's see. First, the first thing I do is I put the color, and you're definitely gonna need some gloves for this part. I have some colors gloves that I put on just for you not to get stain on your fingers and things like that. And then I also recommend that you using it in the shower too when you are rinse it off. So this I also got at a Sally. I don't know how much they cost me, but they're worth the price because you get to reuse them. You wash them and you reuse them every time, and basically you get to use them as many times as you want to. This one seems like it's a large, so it looks bigger. You know what, I'm gonna use the large one so this one don't look that great. Okay, let's do the large one. I have a medium and a large one, but I guess I left them there too long. I should have put them away, but it's okay, you can still use them. So I have my gloves on. Now let's get ready to prepare your solution. So you're gonna grab your color and you're gonna pretty much like take like this much, like a little pinch, like an inch from it. Let me show you, like an inch. And you're gonna squeeze. It's almost toward this here that I'm gonna squeeze, like right there. And I'm going to squeeze it in there. Move this away. And I'm gonna just, as you can see, I'm putting it in. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. And you wanna, I think I'm gonna put a little bit more because my hair is pretty bad. I should have done it earlier. So I might do a little bit more than I originally intended to, but it's okay. You do as much as you think you need. For me, I feel like I need a little bit more because my roots are very, especially the upper part is pretty gray. I have a lot of gray hair. So that's gonna make it a little different. Okay. And then when you're done with it, you're just basically gonna clean up that part, right? And you're going to put, if your dye is changing color and it have brown texture to it, it might not be good, okay? This is how it should look. If you have a lot of brown spots on it, there's only can be two options for that. Maybe you left it exposed to the air too long, or it might be a bad dye, so I wouldn't recommend you putting it on, okay? That's not a good idea to do that, okay? So if it's not a color like this, then you shouldn't be using it. And basically you'll notice the difference. It looks pretty brown and black, and then that's when you know that it's not really good for your hair. So I wouldn't recommend you using it. So let's see. And then I just put a little bit of the developer, and then I'm gonna move it around, and then I'm gonna see how it looks, and then if I need to add more, then I'll add more. Just keep in mind, this is just to dye my roots, so I don't use too much. And then you know, Salerm's colors are pretty intense, and you guys are going to see how intense they are. This dark brown is gonna look darker than it originally going to is. When I wash it out, it's gonna look a little bit different, and it's gonna be much better. So, but you want to make sure that you dissolve basically the whole thing is being dissolved. Let me show you. Mixing it together, and that's how you want it. It's almost gonna look like a white. And you're gonna mix them as much as you can. You want to mix them so the color can actually consume with the developing lotion. And I used 20 because I only wanted to deposit the color. If you wanted to do lighting up the color, that would be a different color, and you know, you would have to look for another color development. But 20 is perfect for developing the color that you're doing and just to deposit it into your hair. My mom is a beautician, so she taught me this, and I'm just passing it on. And you know, dyeing hair is complicated, but if you practice, and you know, the first couple of times I didn't do a great job, I probably made a mess all over the place, but with experience you tend to get better at it. This is how it should look. And once you're ready to basically just put that dye in, and that's precisely what I'm going to do. What I tend to do sometimes is, now that I rinse it out, I should have tried to get something to hold my hair. So what I tend to do is just cut my hair in the middle, right here. And I cut it like right in the middle. And I have to look and see if I'm doing a good job on doing in the middle, because if I don't, then it's not gonna develop very well. You definitely want to do that. Okay, I'm gonna just use, I really want to go back here, so I really want to go as back as I can to deposit that color. So I'm going to divide my hair in the middle, and I'm gonna try to see that the middle is perfect, that is perfectly even. If it's not, then you have to go back and try to do the best you can. I'm going to do this, and I think this should do it, but like I say, you have to do the best you can. It's not easy to dye your hair, but if you practice and practice, you can do this. I didn't think I was able to do it, but you know what? As a military wife, sometimes you don't have the choice, and you don't have a person that you can trust your hair to. The only person I can trust my hair was to my mom, which she was a beautician, and she did an amazing job on my hair. But my mom is in New York, I'm in Texas, so this is not gonna work very well because my mom doesn't come to visit very often, so I have to do it myself. So this is how it is. It's already cut in the middle. I don't know if you can see, but my hair is like a little poking out here, and we just want to make sure that it's completely cut in the middle. And I'm trying to see if I have the middle right here, but I think I feel like it's not quite in the middle, so I'm gonna go back and try to do this. Okay, anyway, the point is that you want to be as center as possible, at least for you. And if it's not, then you have to go back and try to correct it. And what I do is I actually tie my hair. Let me see if I have any ties in here. Okay, you can use any tie that you want. You can wrap your hair here. Let's see. Oh, this thing doesn't seem to be working very well for me, but I think it's as close as center as I can get it. And now I'm just gonna leave this here, and I'm gonna do the front, and I'm gonna leave the back. To be done later, but let's do the first part. Let's do this part here. And you can use either tie, or you can use a little bit of whatever is gonna make it easy. Okay, hair clips or whatever. It's gonna make it easy for you. And we are going to just start up here. This is where we're gonna start, like up here. This is what you want to start with. And this is how the solution is going to look. Now you're gonna start putting it in. And of course I have to put my gloves on. I totally forgot about it. Sorry guys. Let me put my gloves back on and let's get going. And if you feel that you drop the developer and the dye anywhere, just grab a wipey. That's what I do. I grab wipey and I just clean it. And it definitely does a very good job on getting it out. So let's see. I'm gonna try to look as much as I can with you guys. But like I said, this is going to be, then you're gonna start dyeing your hair like this. You're gonna put it like where you see the green, wherever you see your gray hair, which I see it right here. Right here is where my dye hair is a lot. And I might not look at the camera, but I'm looking at the mirror, so as long as you guys are able to see this, that is all that matters. So you're gonna put it like right here. And hope nothing fell, but if it did, I'm gonna try to clean it up. Okay, so here we go. And then you keep putting that dye in there. And once you're done, because I think I want to do a little bit of the back here, because I do see that I have a lot of gray hair back here. So I'm gonna put a little bit there. And okay. Now you can even put it in here if you want, so in the center too. So I'm gonna go and put it in the center too. And I'm looking at the camera because I can't see myself in the mirror, or if you guys are looking at it, this is how I'm doing it. Now I'm gonna go in the back a little bit, right here. And I can work a little bit on the back later, okay. But now let's try to focus in the front right here. This is where we want to focus. So we want to focus right here. And depending on how much solution you have, you might need more. I mean, I have a lot of hair, so I might need a little bit more. Try to focus into those little corners in here, because sometimes we forget about these here. And when I'm done, I realize that I forgot those little ones. And you know, when you put it like right here in the corners, like near your ears, just make sure that you grab all those here, because they will leave some gray hair there, and that's where you have to focus more. Let me continue putting this dye in. Okay, you can even cut it a little bit like this. I have this comb that actually so handy, it breaks it in for you, and you start putting like this. And you don't have to put too much, because the major focus is going to be only those middle one and the back ones that look pretty bad condition, okay? They look pretty gray, and we want to get them all covered. And the only way of covering them is by doing this. So here we go. I'm gonna cut it again. And I'm gonna cut it right here. And then I'm gonna just split the hair up. And this is how it's gonna go. So you're splitting the hair. And you're doing this. And applying it. and in the back, because that's where you want to get the most of it. Back here, definitely back here. Okay, so this is here, and if you see anywhere where you actually, your dye is actually seeping through, which I see it right here, I'm gonna try to take it off. We'll wipe me. You can see this right here and right there. So I'm taking it off, and let's keep continuing. And this is how it's going to be, and then we're gonna go cut it here again and apply the dye again in this corner right here. Sometimes it might not break perfectly, but it's just going to do what you need to do. So just keep that in mind. Okay, well, this side is already pretty well. I'm already happy the way it is. And you can rub it and you can do whatever you need to. This is what I do. I just do like that. And then I go back and I comb it afterwards. But now let's go to the next one. The other side. This one is the other side that you have to do. We already put a little bit in the center, but we're gonna apply a little bit more. And we're gonna go back as you can, because you know very well with those gray hairs in the back, definitely there. Now let's go to the front, and make sure that you cover all of them. As you can see with this brush, I hardly get anything on my clothes or anything, but I still protect myself with a plastic bag. And let's keep going. Okay, now we're going to cut it again, and we're going to go in there and put more. Okay, let's cut it again. And there's the cut again. And apply. I'm just gonna keep on doing this. And after you're done, I basically leave it for 30 or 45 minutes, depending on how you want. But 30 minutes, I mean, for me, is pretty good. I think it does a good job on doing that, so I don't have to stress about doing it longer. So let's cut it again, right here. And you're gonna have this, hold on. You're gonna cut it here, and you're going to do this again. And then you're gonna have this like this, and that's where you're gonna go deposit your product again. Let's do this right here like that. So you can see my brush actually does a very good job of grabbing all the application that you're planning to apply, and the dye basically, and it does a good job on not letting it spill over, which is always a plus. Now, as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but my dye is coming through in my face. So let's keep doing this, because we want to make sure that the one in the front are all covered. So just make sure that you go over it very easily. Cover them as much as you can, and you gotta make sure that they're completely covered. I'm gonna make sure that I have some in the back. I mean, I'm almost done with my dye already. So I only have this little left. I'm gonna go and try to do this. And basically try to do the back a little bit here. And a little bit back here. And my next step is, I don't know if anyone like this, but what I do is I actually grab my hair and I just start massaging it. Give it a nice massage. And I'm gonna take this thing off because I don't need it anymore. The thing, okay. Now I'm gonna massage my hair. But I'm also gonna try to take off this stains that I have in my face. I don't know if you can see them, but they're definitely there, as you can see. They have all around my face. Let's get them off, so you can see, because I have the dye in my face. I'm trying to clean them and make sure that everything is basically not on my face. And if it is in my face, I'll eventually can take it off, you know. It should come off with time, because like any dye. But I'm just trying to give it a you know, I just poke myself there. You can see I put a little bit too much there, but I also want those gray hair that are on the front to cover. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a massage for at least maybe like 5 minutes. You massage your dye in, and basically what you're doing is just massaging it in and making sure that, you know, every part of the hair is dye in. And I don't know if you can see anything, but my hair is already getting dye, different color. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm definitely gonna show you after I'm done. And you guys saw that my hairs were very. And let's see if I didn't drop anything on the floor, because I wouldn't want any dye to stay on the floor. So I'm cleaning up a little bit here. Okay. So now we are going to just give yourself a massage. And I'm gonna try to focus on the back, because that's where my gray hairs are worse. I mean, the front and the back. The front is not that bad. I think the back is that area that I'm actually a little bit, is growing faster, and it's actually, I have a lot of gray hair in there, so I'm trying to get it. But you know, you try your best. And what I do is I do the massage right after I'm done. I did it already, and I keep going and giving myself a massage. And make sure that you have covered your gray hairs in the front too very well. If you haven't, then you can try to see if you can have any product left, and you just try your best to put it in as much as you can. But I mean, it looks pretty good to me. I mean, my hair looks like it's taken in already. And there should be like between me dyeing my hair and putting it in, it should be 30 minutes. That should be more than enough time. I mean, if you want to leave it longer, you can leave it up to 45. That's what my mom said that is appropriate, because when you're using this permanent color. So Salerm is one of the permanent color. And this color, I normally get it at in Amazon. So, and you know, the developer, I got it at Sally, but you can basically buy it anywhere. Anywhere they sell the product. They also have it on Amazon, but it's too expensive. It's too expensive, and this bottle could be like $5 or $6, and it will last me a whole year. So I don't have to stress about it. The dye normally costs between $10 and $12. So every time I dye, it might cost me maybe like $5 to dye my hair, because I don't use the whole thing. So that's pretty cool, right? $5 to dye my hair, and this is a permanent color. And what I like to do too is I like to comb my hair, but I want my dye to get in perfectly. So before I do, what I do is I comb my hair, and what combing your hair does is spreads the dye into your other hair, like to the bottom of the hair, and gives that nice color to it. So, so this way you want to blend it in. If you want to do like a shampoo, after the 30 minutes, you can just, like a shampoo wash, you can actually just use your favorite shampoo and just use the shampoo up here, and then just use a comb to comb it through all the way to the bottom. And then what we'll do that is like just give you like a little wash of that color on the back. So that's what you guys can do. But I'm going to I'm not going to use the you see, like I got it right here, and you use a little wipey, and then the wipey comes off. Doesn't come off like completely, but eventually it will come off. You don't have to stress so much. But you see, I didn't stain myself so much. I stain a little bit here, and then that's it. And let's see if I have any other stain. That's it. I think that's basically it. And in my face, it doesn't look that bad. I think it definitely it's pretty good. I'm gonna continue massaging my hair. Keep massaging, give you a nice massage until your time is due, because you're almost done. You have 30 minutes or 15 minutes, depending how long you want to leave it. You can leave it up to 45 minutes. That's what beauticians normally leave it for, 45 minutes between clients. It's a half hour to an hour, half hour to 45 minutes. But I recommend 30 minutes. 30 minutes is more than enough. You don't have to do more than 30 minutes. 30 minutes is just decent enough time for you guys to get that dye, and especially when you use, what I like about the developer that I use is that it's delicate for your hair. It's supposed to, it says that it's supposed to be for sensitive scalp, for sensitive. So, if you're sensitive on your hair, which I am, I don't like to be pulled too much, I don't like my hair to be done too much, it definitely makes a difference. So this is all actually done, and I don't know if you guys can see, but that is basically almost done. And I'm gonna continue rubbing that dye in my hair, because that is gonna help those other hairs that didn't get it to get it in there. And you're not gonna get every one of them. I mean, I wish I could say I get all of them, but one of them, you're gonna miss one of them because you're doing it at home. So don't stress too much about it. Next time, you just try to catch that one. But I'm gonna show you the difference. The difference is pretty impressive. And I'm gonna go back here. And let's see if I can open my hair where I actually opened it before. And I'll show you guys how my hair looks now. And not even 20 minutes have passed since I stopped applying this thing. Okay, hold on. There you are. Okay, just cut it in the middle. Okay, this is fine. It's pretty hard to get the middle, but this is how it looks now. And it looks pretty dark. It looks like the dye have actually got through. And I'm actually trying to see if I miss any spots, because I could have missed some spot, but the fact that I'm massaging it in, that also helps. And sometimes when you have a product and you want to get the product out, I even put my hair in there and I just do like this, and then go in there and get the product out. But there's not too much product there to begin with. You see, it's empty. It's empty, and I'm not gonna lie, your hair's gonna feel a little harsh at the beginning, but that is how dyeing your hair is, and you're trying to do the most sensitive way that you can by using the best ingredients. Like I'm using Salerm, I'm using the sensitive developer, just to deposit the color. You don't need to do more harm to your hair than you need to. My hair is curly, but it's not really that curly. It's very puffy and dry. And with this sun weather in Texas is even harder on you. It's very hard on you. Let me try to clean this up because I don't want any mess in here. Want to clean? No, I didn't make so much mess. Look, this is great. You guys need to get this. If you guys want me to look it up and find out which this one is, just let me know. But I definitely recommend this and this because this is like, you know, you can always comb your hair. If you have extra hair, it will definitely get it out. I lose more hair in the shower than actually in the floor combing my hair than anything else. But like I said, you know, you're going to massage your hair and make sure that you get all those hair in and all the dye is deposited properly. And I see that I got myself a little bit here from massaging. I'm gonna get another wipey and I'm gonna try to wipe it clean. And as you can see, wipey can clean almost anything. Even the soldering stain can come off with wipey. So you can see, came out. Okay, there it is. Okay, now let's keep on doing this. And then my next step is just pretty simple. I actually grab a fine comb, right? And then I just go over it like this. And then I just go over it like this. And you can see that some of the hair is gonna come out. That's fine. I mean, it all depends on the person that how you wanna do it. But this is what I do. I just comb my hair. Comb it. And I try to distribute that, a little bit of that dye to my other part of the hair. Once it's already distributed, which it is, because look, it's already different colors already. And we're gonna go and comb the hair. And if you want, you can get a bigger comb. I need to get a little bit bigger one because this one is like a little bit thin and it tends to take out a lot of my hair. But it's the one that came with my blow dryer, and I love using it because it distributes everything so well. As you can see, look, you see? So it's combing and putting that hair deposit in the back, as you can see, look. Moving it to where it needs to go. And it's a big difference already from where my hair was before. Now it's totally dark brown. And I'm just distributing. Let me just double check that I have everything in here and that everything is covered and that everything is being good. That all that dye is being covered. Let's see. That all my gray hairs are being covered. And I keep massaging it because what that does is just distribute the dye where it needs to go. So that's always a plus, and I'm always up for that. Okay, so I need to continue combing my hair, and I'm gonna comb it a couple of times more, and then after I'm done combing it, I am going to just leave it for 10 more minutes, and then I'm done. And then it's done, and I'm going to the shower to rinse it off, and then my hair is going to be covered. Well, hopefully, the idea is that my gray hairs are going to be covered, and I hope they are. They look like they are, but I'm not going to lie. Sometimes, you know, it's hard to cover your gray hair doing it yourself, and I have a lot. This time around, I left it go a little bit too long, and I might have concentrated on the front too much last time instead of actually concentrating on the back. But that's where you do it, you know, you do it where you need to. Where you need to put that, that's where you put it. But this is how the dye is going to look, and you can see the colors already changing. It's definitely changing, and it's up to that brown that I actually looking for. So So if you see that my color on the bottom is a little bit more reddish, it's because of the sun. The sun tends to change my color because my when I bleach my hair, my natural undertone that comes out is almost like a reddish tone to it. So after the sun hit it, it turns into more like a almost like a golden tone. So I'm like, this is the color that you get. But it doesn't really matter to me because by the time I'm done, this color is gonna, in no time, it's gonna be. It's not gonna be as intense as this one. It's definitely gonna go. It looks very dark right now, but it's not gonna be that intense. It's gonna be less. It's gonna be a little bit less than that. That's why I'm making sure that everything is covered and that all those gray hair get covered as soon as I can. And hopefully I do a good job, and I'll show you guys how it looks once it's done. But this is how I dye my hair. I'm gonna go wash my hair in 10 minutes, and then I'm going to just show you guys the end result and see what do you tell me if my gray hair actually got covered or not. I definitely see them covered, but you know, with you seeing over there, it's a little bit hard to see the covering, but you can definitely see, you know, that they're covered. They're definitely very covered, and it's being covered, and you know, that massage definitely works. So guys, use your glove, give yourself that nice massage, and it's even relaxing too to give a massage to yourself. So that's what I do. And then don't forget about using that brush. Use a thicker one. Don't use as fine as mine because I have thick hair, and I think I should be using like a little thicker one than this one. But I love the way it distributes the dye back into the hair, and that's always a plus, you know. It helps distribute it so well that I really like it. So let's do this. And you only have to do it once. Once you do it in both sides, you should be fine. And my hair looks a little bit damaged from the bottom in the corner, so I might cut it a little bit. We'll see what happens. But everything is a process and it takes time, so we'll see. Yeah, this is a hard process, but once you get it done, you don't have to think about it at least until a month or a month and a half. That's what I do, a month and a half to 2 months. Then I retouch my hair again, and then it looks fine again. I dye my hair because I'm like, I'm gonna be 42 this year, but I still want to look young. I never dyed my hair too much when I was younger, but now that I am, I mean, I want to feel beautiful, you know, to have more confidence. When you look good, you know, you feel more confident. And if you dye your hair, you know, it's gonna make you feel more yourself instead of the gray hair. I was planning on leaving them on, you know, not taking care of them, but my niece, who's so beautiful, she's like, Auntie, you're too young not to dye your hair. So I was like, okay, if you're telling me this, and you know, she must know something. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna dye my hair then. I think you're right. Anyway, but this is my hair. It's a little frizzy right now, but keep in mind, I just dyed it, and you know, the dye is like, I'm not using a lot of dye, I'm using just a little bit of it. As you can see, I still have a bunch left that I can use twice for 2 more touch up on my hair. So here we go. Hopefully those are covered on the back, and this is the back of it, and it looks pretty covered to me. So we are going to just stop this video, guys. It's a lengthy video, I'm sorry it takes so long. I might add more a little bit more into it. Now I just learned how to add to videos, so I'm adding a little bit more to it. But I will add you in as soon as I'm done with my hair. I'll show you the end result. See you in a little bit.